I am a 61-year-old unapologetically black, senior, elder, transgendered woman. This is my authentic self, who I am. I hid behind my sunglasses since 2009 when I lost my eye. But this is who I am. I'm a community stakeholder in the Tenderloin, as we sit in now, and I'm a community stakeholder in the world, because I should be given every opportunity that each and every person in life is afforded. Because the color of my skin sometimes doesn't afford me different opportunities and different levels of acceptance, but I forge forward. I don't let nobody tell me what I can't do. As long as I respect people and keep it above board and don't disrespect myself, the sky's the limit. So I always would see these advertisements, be the man you can be, all the man you can be in the United States Navy. So I said, I'm going to get me a naval husband, a good man. And I said, they're not going to let me sign these papers. I said, I'm a faggot, I'm a homosexual, they're not going to let me sign these papers. But I got there, and the man listened to my story, and when I told him I graduated and I had a high aptitude and everything, he said, well, I'm going to give you an appointment to come back. So I came back, and when I went back, I had like an afro with Cocoa Puffs. Back in the day, we wore Cocoa Puffs, and I had like polyester bell bottoms. He said, okay, you want to sign up for the Navy and take the physical? And I said, I do. And when I left that afternoon, I was signed up to be inducted into the United States Navy. And it shocked me. I was really shocked. And I did like 7, 8 years in the United States Navy. I was stationed on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. I went to Pearl Harbor, and it was the day before Halloween, honey. And I found out they were having a Halloween costume extravaganza. So me and myself, I got together a cape, ballerina slippers, tights. I was real thin and beautiful back then. Tights. I had a wig on. I didn't have no top on. And I entered the contest, and I won. I won first place. And I didn't hear anybody in the audience, nothing but clapping and whistling and saying how fabulous I was. From that point on, I knew I was Miss Billie Cooper, and there was no turning back. I met this person named Felix Hernandez, and she was from San Francisco, and she would tell me stories and just get my heart racing and get my nose open. I want to go to San Francisco, yada, yada, yada. And she went AWOL. She told me she was going to leave. And I said, don't go. I said, don't go. But she left and came home to San Francisco. Then she would write me letters and everything. And, she would say, Miss Thing, come to San Francisco. Girl, you could go AWOL too. So what I did was I was scared, but I finally left, and I flew to San Francisco and met her, and my whole life changed. My whole life changed. This was in 1979, 1980. And my whole life changed, my whole outlook on life of who I was and what I was. And from that moment on, honey, Miss Billie Cooper arrived, and I met Miss Major Griffith Gracie. And me and Miss Major have been friends for over 40 years. We became good friends, good girlfriends, and she told me to go back, and she told me to get everything together in Pearl Harbor, so I wouldn't be an outlaw, a criminal. So I did, and I came back when I got out the Navy. It was good times, and it was bad times. I did shows probably for about, I would say, from 1980, 81, I would say through the early 90s. And while I used to work in Oakland at Club Bella's and Cable's Reef, I worked over here in San Francisco at the Club Peter Pan, at the Ram's Head, at the Blue and Gold, at Aunt Charlie's. It was a good time. I had a fabulous time. I met a whole lot of wonderful sisters, made a whole lot of money, but I got caught up with the notoriety and the glitz and the glamour. I got caught up in the drug trade. I got really caught up in drugs and prostitution. And I'm not going to sit here and say, all my times doing drugs were bad. It was a whole lot of sadness and emptiness and gloominess because I was searching for myself, and I was easily influenced, but I can't blame nobody for how my life went. But my downfall came after cocaine, when crack came around, honey. That was all she wrote, and I did drugs for about 23, 25 years, I think. And it's not like it is today when trans women can go to school and graduate college and get degrees and have high-paying jobs. Back then, it was a rough time, and the trans women weren't really paid their worth back then, and we had to fight to get what we needed. I am so honored, and I cherish this moment, sitting here being able to be filmed and to answer questions at this time and moment in my life, because I stand on the shoulders of many Black transgendered women. But as I sit here in San Francisco's first transgender cultural district, I'm just blown away, because who would have thought when I was here in the late 70s and moved back here in the early 80s that we would have this and we would sit into a community like this, and we would be accepted. My Bible and Toni Braxton's music, and let me not forget Donna Summer's music. Donna Summers and Toni Braxton and Diana Ross and Tina Turner and Cher and Patti LaBelle and Michael Jackson and the Emotions, and I could go on and on. Music has really gotten me through, has helped me get through rough patches in my life. If I were to meet Toni Braxton, I'm gonna keep it real and be very graphic. I would probably shit in my pants, honey. But today I wear a diaper, so I'm well protected. Is it selfish to put myself first? I used to think so. But as I evolved into a older, mature woman, and I saw that I was getting hurt all the time, and I saw that my helping some people was in vain, and I was the one being looked at side-eye and crazy. No, I started being number one in my life, because I've been for community. I'm still for community, but it's been over 40 years me helping my community. And a whole lot of that 40 years, I neglected who Miss Billie Cooper was and is. I'm just an ordinary person. I cry, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I go through PTSD, I'm bipolar, clinically depressed. When I'm alone, I cry sometimes. I'm not the always happy-go-lucky person I have to show to the world. I have to be strong, and I have to show the world who and what I am, and never let them see me sweat. But when I'm home, I'm a different person, I'm the mild and meek Miss Billie Cooper, like Dorothy, There's no place like home. I never had the ruby red slippers, and it took me a long time to realize what I was searching for out there in the world, and what I wanted and needed was right here in my heart and soul, And once I learned that, I became a whole perfect and complete person. And San Francisco is where I definitely want to be and stay.